Hi, I'm Ruben Arizmendi, and we're going to have some frequently asked questions regarding asset protection. And Mr. Efrain Sharkey is going to be asking me questions I'll be answering. So let's get started.
Do I need an expert on asset protection?
The short answer is yes, and in reality, I'm that expert.
What assets can be protected?
In terms of assets, you have to know first what you have, but if you have a house, you have apartment complexes, you have businesses, you have LLCs, limited liability companies, you have a corporation, any type of business entity of any sort, bank accounts, you have compensation that is applied for and set for retirement. You want to make sure all of that is protected.
Are my retirement assets protected from creditors?
Exactly what I've just finished on. Great segue into that. The retirement assets are particularly protected by virtue of an asset protection trust. Yes, sir.
How can a limited liability company provide me with assets with asset protection?
Okay, a limited liability company is one form of a type of corporate entity. In other words, there are corporations, there are S corporations, C corporations, and limited liability companies. Each one contains the assets that you decide as an individual, owner of the LLC, for example, that you're trying to protect. And so when you put it into this entity, anybody who is a creditor or somebody who would like to bring a lawsuit would have to bring it against the company. And so it does provide one layer of protection as an initial basis.
How about transferring all of my assets to an offshore trust?
Yes, really all of the assets should not be transferred. You should have a home that you own as a homeowner, and that should be something that's very personal to you. But with respect to the entities that I reference, a business, whether it take the shape of a corporation, a limited liability company, or other real property that is beside your home, your compensation for retirement, your bank accounts, everything should be placed into a offshore trust.
Does it really work?
And it really works, especially if you set it up in the Cook Islands, for example. That would be the prime benefit. In Cook Islands, you get your maximum protection, and no creditor, no would-be litigant would be willing to go into the Cook Island jurisdiction to fight you.
Is it ever too late to plan?
It can be too late. Be aware. It can be too late. If you've already filed a lawsuit or had to file a lawsuit filed against you, that is, then it may be too late, because then it would be setting this up precisely to avoid the consequences of the lawsuit, and you don't want to wait until that juncture. You want to get it done before then.
Are there tax consequences for asset protection?
There can be tax consequences, but they may be very much limited, minimal, let's put it that way, compared to if you don't set up the Foreign Asset Protection Trust.
I think that's all my questions. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for asking.